Welcome everyone to another episode of Nexus eSports Edition. We have with us today the founder of Eternity Gaming team called Ismet Fatih, and well, welcome to the show.
Hello there, thank you for having me today here.
Thank you very much for being here with us. So tell us just a bit of your background in esports. I mean, who are you and how do you got into this?
Well, as you told me, my name is Ismet Fatih. I'm from Bosnia and Herzegovina. For those who don't know, it's a country on the Balcans. I'm in esports for about, I'd say, 5 to 6 years. It all went like, as probably every other little child want to play some games and things like that. So it developed from time to time. So my first games were actually, I remember playing like Super Mario and something like, I have no idea how's the game called, but it was like Rescue Some Hostages on PlayStation 1. So after that I actually enrolled in the world of Counter-Strike 1.6, and that's where I had my highlights, let's say, in esports career, with playing tournaments, going on events outside my country, having my own team, and that's where actually Eternity started, from a team to nowadays our organization.
What inspired you to make the team? I mean, the gaming team in itself, the organization. I mean, you started with the Counter-Strike team, and then what happened next?
I need to say I actually have a pretty big ego when it comes to esports. I absolutely like. I don't like to lose, but I like. It's natural for me to actually win all the time. So that's actually the drive to compete and have something to show to others that actually made us, me, to create that team. It started like just locally on some little internet cafes, but later on it actually went on a bigger scale, that we were known in the whole surface of Balkan. We were like in 5 or 6 other countries besides our own one, and the thing that actually inspired me is simply the love to esports. I'm a big, actually we all are, the ones that are here, but I'm a big follower of esports, and it's something that I've done naturally without any hesitation.
Nice, nice. Is it a fairly new, I mean, is the Eternity Gaming organization, is it fairly new, or
Yes, the Counter-Strike team was actually active all the time for over 4 years. So that's not like all the things that went through Counter-Strike went also through Eternity. This year, actually, the last one, as you know, Counter-Strike started to decrease.
Yeah.
The sponsors didn't want to put any more money in that. Fewer number of tournaments, people retiring. I mean, professional players retiring. And in that time, I already knew many other things in other games, like Dota 2, StarCraft, LoL, and so on and so on. And I went for the option to actually start Eternity Gaming because I wanted to try how it would go. And actually we are 11 months old. Yeah, we started in January and made some very big improvement since then.
How is esports in the Balkans?
That's actually completely different story. I would say when let's look at that like this. We all have a market that somebody focuses on, and simply telling and plainly telling that's not Balkans. Sponsors actually, I don't know, maybe there's one or maybe none sponsor that would put some money in Balkans. Not because it's bad, but more because it's how to say, unreached or unknown to people. You understand me? I mean, when I ask some people from, let's say, America, where's Bosnia and Herzegovina, they think it's a river.
What?
Which is actually, I mean, I don't blame them. The thing is that people have other prejudice when talking about esports in our surface. The main thing is that people think that it's a way of getting addicted to computer. You understand me? Like just sitting on a computer and not doing anything. Firms don't and companies don't want to put money in that because they don't see any return on investment.
Yes.
So we and some other organizations on the surface of Balkan are working to get better conditions, to do, but because of that, I actually transferred my organization not on the surface of Balkan, but in Europe. Actually, we are registered in United Kingdom, at least because it's, as I told you, very hard to find domestic sponsors, so we went for the option of European one.
Whoa, that's a very good move. I mean, seems that it's a bit complicated to do so, although it's beneficial. I mean,
Yeah, it is. It is. Sorry for interrupting you, but yeah, it's easier when, well, the best thing is when you actually become fully global. That's when you have prestige to decide where and when and what will you do in any country. But for the ones that are starting, I would suggest, without having like good and constant flow of money, don't start an organization in the Balkan surface. That's like shooting in your leg.
I understand, I understand. With doing that, I mean, do you have access to European events such as DreamHack and whatnot? I mean, have you participated in such events?
Me personally, not. I participated in several events, like never that like big, like ESVC and thing. But my players have participated. I have actually players all over the world: America, Korea, inside Europe, United Kingdom, Germany, Belgium. What else? Yeah, Bulgaria. Well, yeah, I actually have an international lineup in all games.
Nice.
And we actually are having people, I mean players that are playing biggest events in the world, like MLG, DreamHack, ESVC, IPL, VCG. But me personally, I really plan on and will do. I think this year to go with one of my teams on either DreamHack or ESVC or Intel Extreme Masters. We'll see what will occur till that.
Nice, nice. And as we started to talk about it, I mean, the games the Eternity Gaming is involved in, and the teams. If you could describe the teams and the members, if you can.
Yeah, of course. I used to be the player and the owner of Eternity Gaming itself, but I used to also play for the Counter-Strike team. But as you know, you can't do both things. It's really hard. I mean, you can till one point, but then it's not possible. So till last year till last 2 months we had a CS 1.6 team. I think we had the most. We dropped it the last, and it was simply a very, very hard choice to do it. We done that, so we lost that CS 1.6 team. This year, coming from 2013, we are going to have teams in 4 different games. We actually have a player in PES. I don't know how many of you know PES. It's Pro Evolution Soccer.
Yeah.
That is actually top 3 in Europe.
Nice.
We have, Stefan Milivojevic is one of them. He's from Serbia, so yeah, he's from Balkan. But he already made like several big winnings on big events. As I said, PES, we have a Dota 2 team, a StarCraft 2 team, and a League of Legends team. The League of Legends team is like in a process of reforming, let's say. We are doing that to have a really good League of Legends team that will actually compete on those big events. We have a stable Dota 2 team that I personally think can make some good results if given amount of time is put in them. We have a StarCraft 2 team with really good names in them, and we are planning actually to put Dota 2 and StarCraft 2 as our main games. Also, there are possibilities about maybe expanding on CSGO, the new Counter-Strike Global Offensive version, but currently I don't think that will happen, simply because all the best teams that actually can make some damage are already in some organizations, and to have a 5-man squad competing over Europe, you need a pretty big budget for that. So that's the 4 teams that we currently have, and I think it's enough for this period.
Oh yeah, for sure, and that's very, very good. I think Living Pink is one new addition to your team, as far as I know.
Yes, she is. She's the first female gamer in our StarCraft 2 team. She already went to MLG under our banner, and she's going to IPL today, Vegas, I think. Yeah, it's in Vegas.
Yeah.
So she's a good asset to our team for sure.
Oh, for sure. Talking about esports in a whole, what do you think about, comparing LoL, Dota 2, and StarCraft and PES. Like, how do you see those games evolving within esports, according to your perspective?
Well, let's be clear here. From all those games, I know the most about StarCraft 2. Not about the scene, the players, the teams, but about the game itself. Understand me? The names of units, strategies, and those things. But truly think that League of Legends, Dota 2, and I believe will have a big impact on the esports. Let's be honest. League of Legends is and still is one of the biggest. I mean, if not the biggest esports title, together with Dota 2. They are events with prize purse of six numbers, millions of dollars given to that. It all depends on how will the followers accept the games or the meta game itself, and how much and how many sponsors will actually invest in those games, because that's without it's impossible to work without sponsors. So if a game becomes popular, huge, as Dota 2 and LoL is, it will have a bright future for sure. I don't know about StarCraft 2 how it's gonna be, but I hope it's gonna be better when HOTS gets out.
What are the goals or immediate goals that Eternity Gaming has, and what are you guys working on currently?
Looking from the side of organization, 11 months ago I started with a website and a domain. That's all I had, like only that and a will to succeed. Today I have 4 teams, 1 sponsor, very good one. Shoutouts to Ozone Gaming. Currently our goals are actually to find a sponsor, 1 or 2 more that will help us. I strongly believe that we have like super good chances to break the ice, go full international, deliver results, have a good community. I mean, we already got some new followers, a wider fan base. We are doing several shows a month with our players. All of them are actually really good. With Living Pink and Karn, and we'll actually introduce several more very soon. So regarding looking at the point of organization itself, it would be finding sponsors, developing even more bigger environment to work for. Regarding the games itself, it's be stable in everyone. Have teams that are respectful. That because of me being Counter-Strike player, I truly believe that the best teams are the ones that are stable. So if time passes enough, I'm sure that teams that are stable, that are having one lineup for a longer time, will make better results than one that you change every 2 weeks. So, and possibly expand more in other games, go on as many as events we can go. But for that, as I told you, you need to have a sponsor.
Are you doing this all by yourself as the administrator and creator of Eternity?
I'm absolutely alone, like alone in the darkness.
Don't say that, you're not.
Now, I'm literally am alone, like 100% alone. I do everything. I mean, I'm not like now getting gratitude for that, but I'm doing everything. From writing the news on websites. Yeah, I have one only guy that helps me with graphics, that's all. And shout out to Nate Snow and his Snowblight designs. Regarding to that, I do sponsors, financials, recruitments, talkings, assuring, sendings, whatever you want to call it, I do everything. I mean, I'm the whole organization.
Actually, I'm curious because I'm not so aware of it, unfortunately. But how do you see Counter-Strike a global offensive within esports? Do you think, do you enjoy it? Do you see it grow?
No, man, I hate CS:GO.
I agree.
I can't say that I hate it because it would be disrespectful, but man, I don't enjoy it at all.
Yeah.
The thing is, if I was asked, I would never ever. Well, that thing that Valve did is on the side of them getting profit. That's normal. But on the side of fans, I would never ever create a new game that would. You can't replace Counter-Strike, man. It's like. This is the new version of Counter-Strike, but with super future models, if you understand me. It's like not super future, but it's so like detailed. That's something that's not likable in a sense that it can replace Counter-Strike. But regarding the reputation and population of the game, they're doing a good job in the sense that they are making tournaments. I guess sponsors will invest money in it, because, and what's the best and worst thing is that teams and organizations simply don't have any chances to choose, so they are forced to change to CSGO, and that's why you have now many teams, the good ones, like just going from Counter-Strike to Counter-Strike Global Offensive. I'm talking this like 2 months ago. That's what happened actually.
Yeah.
So in order to compete, continue their life as a pro gamers, they needed to do that. Regarding the tournaments, almost every event replaced Counter-Strike 1.6 with Counter-Strike CSGO. You had the SVC, DreamHack. I don't know, I can't remember if VCG done that, but they are actually like almost every event now.
I mean, you mentioned that what inspired you with esports was, you know, the competitive nature. Do you miss being in the competitive scene as a player?
Yeah, I of course do. I mean, sometimes I actually dream about coming back. It's how influenced I am by especially by Counter-Strike. Not because it's the game itself. The game never has anything to do with those kind of questions, but because I miss everything we done together, man. Like a roster of 5 people, like what we all went through, the journeys, the sleepings in hotels, the playings, the hard work, the practicing overnight and days and things like that. The trip itself I can't put that in words how much it means me. I'm sure I'm going to return to esports, but not in a way of competitive. I'll actually go with my teams on events. Yeah, if you're asking me that.
Yeah.
But if you're asking me, will I ever go back to play? I don't think that will happen. I'm not planning on giving my hours anymore in CS Global Offensive, and any other game I play, I suck at it. So.
So you mean you feel that you're out of practice, basically?
Yeah. I'm not giving any more hours. I'd rather do like tons of stuff for the organization itself than going to all over and over.
As a creator and host of Eternity Gaming, you have to look for sponsors and interact with so many people. How would you describe the esports community in overall?
I don't know. I actually study economics, so it's kind of flexible, if you ask me. There's a term in economics, flexibility. So yeah, it's hard for people to change something that they watched or enjoyed like 10 years, like Counter-Strike 1.6. If enough money, of course money first, and then good commercials and marketing is done, people will change eventually to those games that are now, let's say, in the spot of esports. So yes, esports, Dota 2 and LoL are actually like, I'd say the biggest one. People that love those, it's easy playable, the graphics are good, and it's pretty competing, so followers enjoy that, and we are lucky to have that good fan base behind every game, which actually gives that valuable addition to titles in esports. Without them, we wouldn't have any sponsors willing to invest in those games, without people that actually are supporting that.
So I want to ask you, as a follow-up, when comparing esports with physical sports and the economic aspect of it and the organizational aspect of it, what do you think, is there something that esports needs or is lacking when you're comparing with, for example, football, baseball, and other sports?
The thing is, football can play anybody, if you understand me what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I mean football, European football, not soccer, not American rugby, as they call it, football. The thing is, there are stereotypes about esports. People think esports in some like in our country is a shortcut for getting dumb in front of a computer. You understand me?
Yeah.
So if there's one thing that I would change regarding esports, it would be teaching or giving people insight of what we are. You understand me? They have a prejudice about us, if I can call prejudice, as people that spend time in front of some stupid games. But esports, as you know, is much more than that.
Yeah.
Esports is nowadays a new branch of economy. Over $75 billion goes around every year. The biggest, more than 2 million people are on events every year. You can compare football and esports, because football is actually supported by the biggest companies in the world. Esport also is, like MSI. But for example, let's take an example of Etihad. If Manchester City's sponsor, it's a, how do I say it, airplane company with a gaming shop. You can't compare those two. That's like difference between night and day. So the thing is, of course, football is more known and probably will be the biggest sport ever. But I think if esports continues growing enough, somebody of us, I won't say myself even if I would do it, and I'll be glad to do it, just to mention, don't work on establishing the name of esports more and more within the community, not only mine, but every community in the world that is established, people will not know about esports, and that's something that we lack.
Well, I think that's everything for the interview. I mean, you already given a couple of shout-outs, but is there any more shout-outs and particular messages you want to leave?
Yeah, I think this will be a little longer, but yeah, I'll give a shout-out. First of all, I'd like to thank to everybody that follows us, supports us, and are with us on one way or another. It really means, first to me, because it's an indicator that I'm doing a good job, I'd say. That's first thing. Second thing is thank you for the interview. Oh. Actually, this one is my first, so don't be harsh in criticizing me. Now, I would like to thank Mr. Rogelio for extremely helping me, and by him I mean Ozone Gaming, that is our only sponsor, for never doubting in me and giving me a chance to show that Eternity is a worth organization. Also, I thanked Raid Call, that is actually also a bit supporting us. We're working on that, but yeah, I'm very thankful to them. I'm also would like to express my thanks to all the players that are doing a great job by competing, wearing the name, helping me bring this on a whole different new level. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, also one thing, it might seem a bit lameish, but if there's anyone there that would actually like to help me in a way of maybe working together, giving insights, there's times when I really need some help, and I think that's all. Don't forget us to follow us, visit our website, go on our Twitter.
Awesome. No, thank you very much. And speaking of which, I mean, the website is www.eternitygaming.com, right?
The Facebook is www.facebook.com/eternitybih. So, and Twitter is www.twitter.com/eternityesports.
Awesome. I'll sure to put those links right below the description of the YouTube video. Ismet Fatih, thank you very much. It was a real pleasure to have you on the show, and you had very good insights and opinions, and I thank you so much for being here.
Oh, my pleasure, really. It's actually, I woke up just so I can do this. It's like really early in my country, so thank you very much for hearing me, calling me on this interview, and if there's something I could do again like this, don't hesitate to call me. I'll answer anytime.
Thank you very much. Well, to the viewers, thank you so much for listening and watching the episode. Don't forget to follow Eternity Gaming and be sure to tune in to all their activities. It's a very good team. And thanks again, and I'll see you guys next time.